How fathers have double standards with boys and girls. The kid goes out and they say, father says, hey, have a good time out there, right?
Yeah.
They got a daughter. They're there with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Right? All of a sudden, there are two different standards for girls and for boys.
Well, I can't have that because I have sinned.
Oh, no.
In the past. You're the only white man alive that's ever touched my head without being killed.
Tell him what the hell I'm going anyway.
And plus, you got some insurance.
That's right. I'm covered. Jeez,
well, Johnny, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Tonight. You really are cooking tonight.
I'll move over now because the fire
We'll do a commercial, but you would really, thanks for coming tonight. You're hysterically funny tonight. Really. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Fuldheim is with us tonight. She's a remarkable lady. She's in her 85th year. She does a daily television show in Cleveland. She is an author, and as I mentioned earlier in the show, she's been on television probably longer than any personality in the country. Would you welcome Miss Dorothy Fuldheim? Welcome back.
I just want to tell Mr. Pryor I've sinned too. So would you put your hand on my head?
Yes.
Too?
We're all.
Now we're.
Nice to have all the sinners together.
Say more.
Do you know anybody?
Maybe I have. I'll meet you later and tell you.
Yes.
I'll exchange it.
All right.
How long have you lived?
Do you get high?
Now, that's a legitimate question. That's a legitimate question.
No, I get cool.
Okay.
And if you ask me that, I will be cool, very cool.
Have you ever tried grass? I think that's what he's saying.
Of course not. I don't need it.
Yeah.
Got all of this vitality coming out of me.
Yeah. Where do you stand on that? How do you feel? I just saw a thing in the paper yesterday that was absolutely unbelievable. There was a youngster in Missouri, state of Missouri. He was a teenager. He's 21, and they sentenced him in the state of Missouri to 7 years in prison for possession of, I think, 10 grams, which is about, it was a third of an ounce of marijuana, and they sentenced this youngster to 7 years in prison. Now, that is absolutely weird and wrong. That's true. In the paper today.
There's your Greek chorus.
No, I think that is, that's completely out of relation.
I don't think that you should be apprehended by the law, no matter how much you have, unless you're selling it. I mean, if you want it for yourself, you know, that's your own. I don't think the government should interfere in so many things. It's like the helmet you had to wear.
That's the point. Can you imagine giving a youngster? And the judge, or one of the prosecuting people, said, and I hope I'm quoting this in context, he said the penalties for rape or possession of marijuana, he didn't see any difference. Can you imagine that?
He ought to.
Or something like that. He looked at him as the same.
He ought to be recalled.
Yeah, I hope
He's a male chauvinist if he doesn't know the difference between rape.
Okay. Now, I'll probably get mail from the state of Missouri, but that was in the paper today, and I could not believe my senses when I read that. That just seems out of proportion, yeah.
Of course.
Do you know anybody who has not sinned? You ever met anybody who's really so Simon pure that...
Well, if they had, they'd be an awful bore. I wouldn't want them.
Yeah, you got to do a little sinning somewhere along the way, don't you?
Well, of course, it depends upon what you call sinning.
Yes, now we get into the question of...
you know,
yes,
I don't think you should murder.
No, I don't think murder is
I don't think
a
you
good
should
pastime.
steal. But I think you can be envious. I think you can be malicious. I think you can be unfaithful. How does that strike you for sin?
How do you feel about open marriages? That's a thing that they promote in some of those reaction groups where the couples agree to an open marriage. They don't seem to work out too well.
I don't know. You know, in my generation, he didn't tell you, I'm 85 in 1 month. How does that sound? There was something sacred and beautiful about love and passion. And there was a permanency about it. Now you drift. You live with a man. You don't know how long it'll last. You don't know what you're going to do. You pay a price for certitude. and a sense of responsibility. But, I mean, how many loves can you have in a life?
Yeah, do you think people feel...
I don't know how many.
I think one.
One great love?
I think that you have one great love, friend.
I think you're right. The others are sort of secondary.
Yes, ma'am.
Like an auxiliary insurance.
Watch out.
Don't you think, now be honest now, I don't quite agree with you. Don't you think it is possible to love more than one person in your life?
Yes.
Don't you think it's possible to love more than one person?
I think it is, and I think a love that you have at 40 is quite different from the love you have at 20.
Right.
But there's
I
something...
know it's more expensive at 40.
Not for me.
It's on a sliding scale as you go upward.
I always settle for violets.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Just violets.
Yes, you know, as soon as you bring in money...
Would you accept an expensive
Whooping?
expensive diamond necklace from a man?
From you, yes, because it would mean nothing excepting that you had the money to buy it. But I mean, if a man was in love with me, went out and stole so he could give me a diamond necklace, I'd send it away. And of course, from him, I wouldn't take it at all, because he's probably... Did you get a shot today? Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
That accounts for some of the things you said.
That's what it probably does.
Richie's a free spirit.
He's a free spirit.
Yeah.
Yes, he's very free.
Yeah.
Quite a spirit.
His vocabulary is, too.
Well, do you want to talk about words in general?
No. I just see he's a free spirit.
You like me, don't you?
Oh, very much.
Watch out.
Have you anything to say about this?
No, I have something to say. I think that you're a very charming and beautiful human being, and I'm really happy that you're here because you make me feel good, and it's good to see that you're out still doing it.
He certainly had some shots today.
Yes.
It's Mr. Smooth over there tonight, right? Hi there.
Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about whatever we'd like to talk about. Okay? Stay with us. You dig that kind of music?
I dig it.
Yeah?
Not deeply.
Not
I just
deeply.
dig it. Yes. You know, slightly.
What do you think of the rock music, Rolling Stones, all the hot groups today?
No.
Don't care for rock?
Not at all.
Don't you think there's any good rock?
Well, it's not my bag.
What was the expression, when you were a young lady, what expression would you say for that? It's not my bag.
Oh, God, it's so long ago, I can't remember.
Yeah.
You know, it's a long time ago. When I was 15, that was 70 years ago. I can't remember. I only remember one thing about myself. Isn't that funny, you know?
At
As
15?
a kid,
Yeah, what's that?
I wanted terribly. Somebody gave me 50 cents. I came from a poor family. 50 cents was significant. Have you ever been poor?
Not poor, no.
That's too bad. Have you?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Isn't there anybody here that's been poor?
Well, I don't think it's necessary. I've not had money. I've been broke. I've not had money. I've been in debt.
You can't understand this then, but what I wanted more than anything else in the whole world was a pair of red gloves. Somebody gave me 50 cents, so I went from one store to another. I was the ripe age of 11, trying to find a pair of red gloves. Well, of course, there weren't any. So I bought myself some red cloth, and I made a pattern. And I made myself some gloves, and that's exactly been true of all of my life. If I wanted something, I had to go out and get it.
Went out and got it.
With 50 cents.
Yeah.
Well, I've raised the ante a little.
Do you think poor, somebody once said, I don't know who it was, somebody says that he didn't think that poverty necessarily built character. There are other disciplines that can do that.
I don't think that poverty...
necessarily as a character builder.
No, not at all. I think just living builds and disciplines you. Just living because your associations, whether it's with your children, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, or your sister, or Johnny Carson, whoever it may be, you're constantly orienting yourself.
Do you think it's tougher now for young people just to survive than it was when you were 15?
No, I think life is so much simpler now. Nobody starves in our country. Nobody has to go out in the corners to beg. You can go and get medical aid, Nobody lives in the streets.
There's some people that live in the streets.
Here in this country?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, they don't have to.
Well, tell them.
I don't believe that. Are you telling me that
I'm
they're...
not being facetious.
No, I know you're not.
No.
You're telling me that people have to sleep in the streets like they do in India?
Yes, ma'am. But they don't. Yes, ma'am. They sleep in the streets and they die here in America.
Well, they die anyway, even if you sleep in a bed. You just described a number of deaths.
No, I mean, like in India, you die from starvation and stuff.
Well, you don't die of starvation here.
Yes, ma'am.
You can always get some food. We have.
I know we have it, but we don't always give it.
I'm sorry to differ with you, but I don't think statistics would show that you're right. Nobody has to starve in this country. There
All right.
are...
If you get a gun, you don't have to starve, no.
Oh, no, not with a gun. Come on, you know, there...
Are you saying that the people who are below the poverty level, and there are a lot of people below the poverty level in this country.
Of course there are. The poverty level now, because of the cost of living, is almost $5,000.
You know, in
There are many
Appalachia-
people who live...
This is white people now, so I won't bring it to black people so you won't not believe me. In Appalachia, man,
There's no difference in my mind between black and white, and get that straight.
You're crazy.
No. You cannot say...
Now he's being frivolous now.
I'll tell you something. That's it. You go hiding behind the fact that I must have a prejudice. Well,
No,
damn
ma'am.
it, I don't.
No, ma'am, I wasn't.
don't have a single
I wasn't
prejudice.
hiding behind that. I was
I
trying
don't
to tell
have
you,
any prejudice.
in Appalachia, I was trying to make a common denominator for the masses. Like if I use Appalachia rather than Watts,
Are they
would
starving
understand
there?
that better.
Are they starving?
In
there?
Appalachia, yes, ma'am. Sometimes the babies' bellies get swole up. They don't get enough food, and they get retarded. You understand what I'm saying? Like because they
I
eat,
do,
they
but
eat
I don't
paint.
believe it.
No, ma'am, it's true. The children get retarded because they don't have enough food to make the enzymes work in their brain.
Having listened to you before, and some of the things you
Well, it's
said...
not just me.
Walter Cronkite said it.
Let me tell you something.
This is television at its finest moment, folks, just like this.
I don't know why I talked to him at all. I'm
No, I
supposed
think
to be
he's very
talking to
serious.
you.
I think he's very serious in what he
course he
says, and I
is.
think he has a point. There are
I
people
don't-
in this country who don't get enough to eat.
They may not get enough, but nobody really starves. I mean, I think this country... You asked me about the young.
That's right.
That's why you're here, because you're starving.
Johnny Carson is back there. There'll be no yelling.
You let them yell?
Sure, it's an
Oh,
open
I see.
country, sure.
Well, then if they like you, what do they say?
These people are all cloned. You know that? We clone them in the other room, and then we bring them here just for the
I thought it was
show.
only your purse that is cloned. And I thought that was a great idea. I thought I'd step in after the 5th cloning and take hold.
What were we talking about, anyway? We were in the subject.
Cloning.
When you were young.
When I was young,
Yeah.
when the earth was full of trees that bore fruit and the flowers bloomed, they were sweeter and there were love affairs to be had.
And lynchings.
I asked
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
Johnny,
Yes.
isn't it curious? You can talk about beautiful things, nobody applauds. You talk about lynching. I don't know whether that applause is because you approve of lynching or because you're happy that he said so. I can't figure it out, you know. Can you?
No, ma'am.
Oh.
I think it was a play on the beautiful thing and the absurdity and the point that he was making, that in the early days, when
No.
things were, there were other things going on that were not so good. He was just turning a situation
There are
around.
some beautiful things in life. If there weren't, why does everybody want to live? Why doesn't anyone want to die? Even your father.
Hey.
Does the thought of I was going to say that does the thought of leaving this, and I was going to use a euphemism for dying. Does the thought of dying bother you?
No, I'm not afraid of death at all. And in a way, you can say I walk with it, because when you're 85, that is a possibility. Nor do I accept any religious concept of immortality, but I do wonder, you know, in the evolution of the species, why was I, you, everybody?
Richard.
Yeah, Richard, too. Oh, hold my hand, Richard, so that you know I'm against lynching.
God.
Why was I given 5 senses? You know, it's a remarkable thing.
Don't let go.
Well, you're supposed to do the holding. I'm just nestling there.
You only have 5
We're
senses?
giving 5 senses.
5 senses, you see. Now, animals, the dogs you talked about, do not have it. How is it that I can have 5 different communications? In the whole process of evolution, isn't there an effort being made so that there will be a superior... I just took it away because I wanted to gesture to Johnny.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Hey, come on.
I mean, you know, there must, I don't know. I say to myself, is there anything else? I don't believe that I'm going to live
Forever,
again.
right.
But I do believe that perhaps this is the supreme expression of life that I occupy, that you occupy, all of us. And there must be a purpose in it. And I have a feeling that this species, to which you and I belong, will develop a sense that will be able to understand the stars. I don't think going to the moon was an accident, you know.
No.
Not at all. I don't think the divination that astronomers are now making, a human eye can see 20 billion years into space. It is awesome.
Yes, it is.
I think there's a reason for it. I think we're all going out into space.
Probably
And perhaps
eventually.
there is immortality. Perhaps you don't die. Or perhaps on this species, there's you and myself, and I have to include him, although I know he's kidding me.
No, the
about-
diamonds is hurting my eyes.
There you are. I have to interrupt, but we'll be back after
Thank
this,
you.
folks. Don't go away. We are back. Oh, what a fun time this is tonight. Really, this is super. Yeah.
I like to say something. I like to give you this ring back because people think I done stole it somewhere. How'd you get this?
Well, sin brought it to me. You know, this is not funny. A very famous American comedian, I don't want to mention her name, I was to interview her, and I was going to the reception desk, and she was coming to my office. I passed her, and she passed me. I didn't look up. I didn't know who it was, you know.
Right.
But as I passed her, all she said to me, she passed me, was, "Who have you been sleeping with?"
Saw the...
Saw the ring. It gave me ideas I never had before.
Somebody actually said that to you?
Yes, and-
Did you resent it?
No, I was amused. I thought, well, that's an idea. If I were living my life over, maybe it shouldn't have been
You
violence.
earned
Maybe
all
it
your
should.
stuff, didn't you? All that thing belongs to you. You earned
No,
it.
this was my engagement ring.
All right, so you earned
That's
it.
pretty.
Yes, I sure earned it.
Right, you're a good
Under
person.
those conditions.
You're a good person. You're a good human being. That's how you live to be 85, because you got the spirit in you. If you
How
don't
much-
have the spirit, you don't get to 85.
How much more do you give me?
How much more I give you? I give you another 7 years.
I don't agree with you. I know a lot of mean old... really mean and live to be that late.
Can you imagine, Johnny, the impudence, the idea of his deciding that I'm to have 7 more years? You know.
You see, that's...
You know. If you were doing it, why didn't you give me at least 10?
Well, because I thought you asked me. I'm a 7-year man myself. And
But I'm a 10-year woman.
Well, that's why you are here, and I am here too.
You know, he's got the most extraordinary sense of deduction.
That's right.
The most whimsical, has nothing to do with reality. Can you imagine him being a mathematician?
Einstein failed in arithmetic.
No, not in arithmetic. I interviewed him.
At pointing.
You know what he failed in?
No.
When he was rehearsing, he was part of a quartet.
Yeah.
You don't need to lean so close. I want Johnny to hear it, too.
Okay.
When he was rehearsing, he never could come in on the right beat.
He had no
Oh,
sense
he
of
failed
music.
to sing.
No, he never could. Always, 1, 2, 3, 4, and he was not there.
Did you know he failed at mathematics?
You mean when you went to school?
Yeah.
As a clerk, I think, when he was a
couldn't deal with
switcher.
That was a
He did.
clerk. He wasn't.
He wasn't. He didn't fail. No, when he got up to where they talk about L.2 Galaxy 7, he handled that.
No. It's Galaxy 2.
Oh, sorry.
You got your mathematics wrong.
Well,
You see,
That'll teach her.
that's what he can,
Well, okay.
that's all he can say is, well.
We got to do this. Dave Brubeck is going to be with us. Stay seated. Oh, what a... I can't think of a show recently in which I've had a better time, thanks to both Dorothy and Richie tonight. This has really been a
We have a
crackerjack
date.
night. You got a date tonight?
When he comes to Cleveland.
Yeah, when he comes to Cleveland, you can go on Dorothy's show.
Yes,
He's
sir,
there
I would love
every single day.